Hi, everyone. I am here today with Chase Huddleston from Chase Huddleston Real Estate. And hi, Chase.
Hi.
So I have a question for you, and I get this quite a lot with people who come or are talking around with people who have leases, and they come to me saying, "Well, I'm not ready to buy yet because I'm in a lease. I'm renting my house. It's a lease. I've got 10 months left or 6 months left." Can you talk about your experience with how people get out of leases and if they're allowed to do that?
Yes, absolutely. Most first, you have a copy of your lease. You can send it to me. I've done this often. I've identified where the out is,
Mhm.
or the terms of the out. Maybe there's an option for you to find someone to take over your lease. That happens a lot. Uh, there are also usually options for breaking the lease, and it's usually a fee that the landlord has decided on and that you agreed to. Um, the good thing about that is don't be afraid of it, because let's say that you have to spend, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 to break your lease. Well, the good news is we can offset that. When you're buying a home, you won't have your first payment due for six, somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks. So we are often able to offset that expense, but that's only if you don't have the option to find someone to take over your lease. And Denver has a really competitive lease market. So the chances are that you're currently renting something that somebody just moving here is looking for.
Yeah, that's great. And oftentimes I hear people say to me, well, I'd like to time it. I'd like to time my lease is up at the end of May. So I'd like to start looking now so I'm ready to move then. And I think we all know that the real estate market is not exactly fluid right now. We still have greater demand than we do supply. So, it's hard to find something as a buyer and be that picky. Can you talk about how you work with people on that side of the timing piece?
Well, I hate for anyone to put that limitation on themselves, because if you're in the if you know you're going to be moving in the next year, be open to looking, because it might take a while to find what you're looking for. We might place an offer on something where the have become competitive, and it takes a few tries before we get something. So
Mhm.
if you have that added stress on top of a deadline where you could be forced, once you give notice to move out of your rental, that's the clock is ticking.
Mhm.
And so if you've got, it's just an extra layer of stress that I think is so unnecessary. And so I always tell people, if you're looking to move in the next year, maybe you just renewed your lease, go ahead and start looking now. Another thing is, in even in this market, we tend to see year over year price increases of a minimum of 3%. So for every day that you know you're moving, but you're not moving yet, you're watching the prices go up.
Mm.
So, I say, there's always an out for a lease.
Mhm.
And it's very much to your advantage to use that out if you find something you
If
want.
you can. I think the other thing is the likelihood of there being a house that meets your criteria at the exact time that you're looking to buy is you'd be lucky, right? And so, you may have to spend a little extra to break your lease, or, there may be a little bit of cost, but in the big scheme, in the long run, we're not talking about, just buying tickets to the movies or a car or something. This is big numbers. So is a $2,000 or $3,000 lease break worth the house that you get that's the right house for you, for your family, for the school district, for whatever it is that you care about? And I think sometimes we forget that houses, yes, it's a financial decision, but it's also where you live. It's where you
Right.
build your memories. And there's so much more importance to that than just numbers.
Well, it's the same way with a lot of things in life. It's not always about the timing. It's about what you need at that particular time, identifying it and getting it.
Yeah.
So I think, don't hesitate to reach out to us if you are planning on moving in the next year and you're renting.
Yeah.
Whatever the home that you're looking for, whatever the price of it is today, a year from now, it's going to be more
It's going to
expensive.
be more. We can guarantee that one pretty much. Yeah. And both Chase and I are so happy to work with you, even if now's not the time, just to set ourselves up so that in 6 months' time you're ready and educated, because we want you going out to the market, knowing your budget, knowing your numbers, being grounded, and knowing what's sold and what's coming up. So we are both love to talk to anybody. So about breaking leases, houses, and give Chase a call.
Yeah, let's get ready to move.
All right. Nice to see you, Chase.
You too.